Hello, and welcome back to Harlan is in Danger. My name's Mitch, and I'm joined, as always, with my good friend and co-host, Tom.
Hello, I'm also here, and Happy New Year, I guess, even though it's not the New Year for us yet.
Yeah, it's still like Happy Christmas Eve for us.
Yeah, Happy Christmas Eve. Yeah, this is great. We get to open some presents. So, yeah, I guess we should just go straight into what this video is. We are going to be talking through the decks we've built for our Dream Eaters run. Starting... And then, starting now. No, that's not what I wanted to do. The conceit of this is that, so for our additional challenge for Dream Eaters is we're each taking on one half of the campaign. So I'm taking on the Dream side and you're taking on the Waking side. In doing that, I have built both investigators, the one I'm going to play and the one you're going to play for the Dreaming side. And you have built both investigators, the one I'm going to play and the one you're going to play for the Waking side.
Yeah.
We have not looked at these besides the ones we built. So this is also like we're giving each other some little presents because it's Christmas time.
Yeah, and the part of the reason we're doing it this way is Tom and I have a disagreement about the actual difficulty of the Dream Eater side. I think that the Awake side is much, much more manageable, and that the Dream side is just like an absolute nightmare. So I was like, why don't you make our decks and tell me what to do and be my guide through the Dream side, and then I will do the guiding through the Awake side, because
I would love to, so I still hold this opinion. I will say though, after making these decks, I would love to try and do this with you without a limited card pool and limited investigators, because well, let's just jump right into it. So the investigators we're playing on the Dream side, well, the first one is going to be Jenny Barnes. I disappeared. Stupid Discord. All right, come back. Stay pinned. Are you going to stay pinned? No, you're not. You're not going to stay pinned. All right, whatever. All right, here's the Jenny Barnes deck. This is the one I built for you.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, so I knew it was going to be... We had to decide which investigators we were going to play, because obviously I can't build a deck. We both can't be building a Jenny Barnes deck. So we figured that much out. So I knew I was playing Jenny, but I didn't know what the deck is. So it looks like I have some Derringers and Colt Vest Pockets and a one-off flashlight. Then, of course, my 45s. And I have 2 copies of the Tooth of Edsley. So that's where we're using our Dunwich off class. Willpower and agility. Okay, so I need to pass those treachery tests to get cards, is what it looks like. Okay, and then I got a backpack to pick that up. That's nice. Peter Sylvester. Okay, interesting. Well, that makes sense, actually, because it boosts my agility, which is rogue. That's good. And then I can heal horror. Okay, I'm into it. And then Hard Knocks, you gotta have some talents in there. Okay, Backstab, Coup de Grace, good stuff. Emergency Cash, just in case. Sleight of Hand, Sneak Attack. Actually, wait a minute. The Sleight of Hand, so I'm playing a Taboo deck, is it?
Yeah.
So what does it do?
It's just items level 0 to 3. So going forward, I think we're going to be doing each other's upgrades as well. So I'll just try to make sure to not put an item that's higher than... So it'll make the text just read right correctly. I'm not going to put a level 5 item in here, so don't worry about it.
Okay, sounds good. 2 sneak attacks, a teamwork. I love me some teamwork. I'm all about that.
I used to think this card was garbage, but then, I don't know. Now, when I have a one-off that I need and someone can take teamwork, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to throw it in there. Or you owe me one or whatever. I just played a Trish deck alongside Jim with You Owe Me One in it, so that Trish could get relics from Jim so her Wit and Green and worked, basically.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
It was fun, yeah.
And then it looks like I got the classic suite of skills, too.
Some Guts.
Okay.
Some Hatchetmen.
Love Hatchetmen.
Manual Dexterity and Overpower. And then
This is a wonderful deck. I feel so blessed.
This is a pretty good deck. And then your permanent there, your weakness you got randomly was Indebted, so I did roll that for you already. So.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I guess that's appropriate. For Jenny.
It's fine for Jenny, I think. It's hurts her the least, I suppose. It's an annoying weakness, but
or the most.
Or the most, depending on how you play it. All right, I'm gonna try and.
I guess again. Paranoia would have been worse.
Paranoia would be a lot worse, yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on this deck before I show
Well,
you?
is there anything in particular you wanted to let me know? It looks like I'm very defensive, like I'm very fighty, and I'm very like encounter deck resistance is
Yeah.
the sense I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this is supposed to
cool.
be encounter deck resistance and fighting with your feet, basically. So there's a lot of
Okay.
evasion tech in here because it's uniquely evasion's I think uniquely good in Dream Eaters, or not uniquely because it's better in Forgotten Age, but it's still pretty good in Dream Eaters, and a lot of the treacheries test
Mm-hmm.
your agility instead of your willpower. So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of like the conceit is like you're pretty defensive. You got okay book if you need to get some clues here and there, and then if you really need to fight something, you have five guns to help out with that. So. And
Okay.
Jenny's twin 45s are actually kind of good, I think, if you can get them out
Yeah, I
there.
think they're good.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. All right.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I'm down.
going alongside Jenny, we're probably going to vanish for a second because this refuses to stay on top. Yep. It's Lola! All right, here we're back.
Oh, Lola.
So we're the all threes team, and this is the Lola deck
Yes.
that I will be playing. This is This is
So,
why I'm a
what
little
do
bit concerned. I love Lola. I'm a great Lola player, but I think like building with the sort of limited card
Limited
pool
card pool.
and stuff is pretty freaky. And this is also the reason that I'm still playing with the taboos is because I don't want to play with pre-taboo Lola. She's not fun.
Yeah,
Pre-taboo.
that's fair. That'll be interesting to see her play in that way. This is like a crazy, crazy deck. It's full of a ton of like really powerful cards. Like, I mean, even stuff like Magblast and Gravedigger Shovel, like they get the job done, right?
Yeah.
And like Alyssa Graham, Malison, Scene of the Crime, you're just like packing in a bunch of stuff to be like, I could get clues. Like, how many you have winging it, working a hunch, drawn to the flames, scene of the, like, how many do you need to get clues? Deduction?
Yeah, and a one-off of teamwork because I can take it.
All right.
Yeah, no. So this is, I think, like it's interesting. I know I'm playing the taboo version of Lola, but while I was building this deck, I was going back to how I built Lola, kind of pre-taboo, just because I was playing her
Okay.
around this time in the card pool, and it was a lot of like I would just take a lot of cheap assets so that stuff when it
Mhm.
broke would be fine. Um, and I like having impromptu barrier and winging it in here because if I'm in survivor when I draw her weakness, I can just discard those.
Yeah.
And then like her economy is basically just improvisation. So yeah, but most of her cards, like I only have two cards that cost more than two because that's just how I kind of got used to building Lola decks.
Oh, okay. That's smart.
And I'm particularly proud of the fact that I actually got 7 cards in 4 classes instead of in 3, which is me flexing as
Oh.
Lola.
I like it. I'm really curious to see what this will do. And this will be fun too because Jenny, I can just kill monsters and hang out and watch all of the shenanigans that Lola is going to have to do.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, and I mean like the other thing is like I have these stand togethers, I have teamwork, so I can give you any extra money that I don't need. But I'll probably be
Yeah.
doing a lot of like cycling things in and out because that's kind of how I usually play Lola. Is like she
Hmm.
keeps changing roles, both in terms of like what color she is and what she has in her hands. So
Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I dig it. I think this is solid. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the upgrade path is going to be, but it looks like
Oh, I
I
have no
won't get a
idea.
preview of that.
I don't plan upgrades. You know that about me. So, all right,
enough.
it's gonna go away again. I'm gonna try it. Oh my god, it didn't go away.
Okay, so this is going to be for the Awake team, and my mark deck is Don't Think, Just Do, in reference to Top Gun Maverick. And there's no real rhyme or reason. I just wanted to call it that because he looks like a Maverick kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be playing Mark because
Okay.
I've never played him before. And I basically, it's just a straightforward Mark deck, I think. I don't know that he's really too complicated. I am leaning on Gret to get me some clues to help out
Mm-hmm.
because I built you kind of a funky Seeker deck, so I don't know how reliable that'll be. So I'm trying to make sure I have a backup, and then I got Flying Clothes so I can parlay a little bit.
Okay.
Um, and so I should be able to take care of myself. I also have things like Inspiring Presence and Take the Initiative. I got a good
Oh, that's a lot of
suite of
skills. Yeah.
skills. Yeah, so I should be able to get through most things. And I also took Stand Together to back us up for resources. You're probably going to need that.
Mm-hmm.
Some shortcuts are always nice. Second
I
wind,
love this
prepared for
card.
the worst.
I don't know why, but this card has just saved my life so many times. It's also
It's
in
good.
the Lola deck as well. I think you'll see that. You saw that, so
Yeah.
good at prepared for the worst. That's good.
Yeah, at least one, a couple evidence, emergency cat or emergency aid, just to make sure, because I don't know how much healing I'm gonna need, but I know I'm gonna need a good amount.
Yeah, and this can.
I want to be taking damage so I can do stuff.
Yeah, an emergency aid also helps you if someone else starts getting beat up. So. Yeah, this is a cool deck. This is very like efficient mark building deck. So I'm liking it. It's using that tactic access very wisely. I see.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about some other stuff, but I'm just like, it doesn't really work. Like, I don't have enough with the card pool being what it is. I just don't have enough. Plan is to get maybe a practice makes perfect though. I think that is worth purchasing just because for Mark, it's really nice to be able to tutor up Home Front or Vicious Blow or something like that.
Yeah, you've actually got in like Take the Initiative as well. You've got a bunch of practiced in here already. I think it's just Inspiring Presence and Guts that are innate. So.
Yeah. So we shall see. I'm gonna try to keep my upgrades fairly cheap because Dream Eaters is a short campaign, and so they're kind of dispersed. And we'll just do like stronger gun and then regular gun depending on the fight value of the enemy.
Yeah. Cool. This is a cool looking deck. All right. And then let's see the last one. This is the Minty Fawn deck that I'm going to be playing. Yeah.
Yep, and this is
to counter Mark's not thinking. I'm just realizing there's no books. There's nothing in my hands.
Yep, you're gonna be asset free as much as possible. You're gonna have the Cherished Keepsake, the Art Student, and the Mysterious Raven. Now, so this is kind of a modified, sort of reduced version of a min deck that I play, where you basically never investigate. You don't do any skills, really. All you do is play allies that get you clues, and then you play them again, and then you play them from your discard pile, and then you play them for cheap, and then you play them again. And I don't have as many tools for that, so I had to kind of bend the rules a little bit with a nice skill suite, which makes sense because Min does really well with skills.
Min does do really well with skills, yeah. So this is cool.
Shockingly.
No, this is a cool deck. I'm really into this. Because I've never played a min deck like this. I usually I love the idea of leaning more into her survivor access and just being like, I love the Test of Wills. I love the or the Chance Encounters. I like that there's just these weird events. I love event decks, as I think you probably saw with that Lola. So.
Yeah, so like if for whatever reason, like obviously your first upgrade is going to be Charisma, but if for whatever reason you don't have your allies yet, just working to hunch the clue. Or you can use a skill, maybe True Understanding on like a skill test on a treachery might help you get through it.
This is a good place for True Understanding. Did this come out with? No, this didn't come out with Min. Wow. Okay. Min's good with True Understanding. I didn't ever think of that. And then you can get your Mysterious Ravens back with this too.
Yep. So you're going to be taking a lot of horror. That's why you need the Cherished Keepsakes
and the logical reasonings too. I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of the treacheries are kind of nasty, so you might want to get rid of them with that as well.
And then do we have access? So I have a Shrewd Analysis here, so it's going to be a random Strange Solutions, right?
Yep, you're going to have to get a random Strange Solution, because the one I kind of think is best for this deck is actually the Freezing variant, because neither of us can evade. That's the big downside to this team, is they can't dodge anything. So it would be nice if we can get the Freezing variant. It was also like, at that point, like if the Freezing variant is the one I want, then anything is probably helpful, because the Restorative Concoction can heal me, which is good. So that way I can keep pinging myself for damage and getting points. And then Acidic Ichor is never going to go to waste. So I figured,
just a good card.
Take Shrewd Analysis. Yeah.
It just kills things very efficiently. Yes. So.
Yeah. Okay. And I just want to point out the title is Think Again, because if you'll look back to Mark, his is Don't Think, Just Do. And so there's a bit of a contrast there.
I see. All All right. Well, these are some fun decks, and we're going to be starting next week with our Dream Eaters run. And I think we start with me, yeah, because Dreaming's A.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Dream side. So yeah, we're gonna take the threes girl team,
the threes ladies,
threes ladies, and we'll see how they do. I'm super looking forward to it. I've not played Jenny in a long time, and she's a lot of fun. I have a good time with her, and I'm curious to, like I said, just to watch you as Lola.
Oh man,
it's always entertaining.
Yep, it's gonna be good. I think this deck's actually gonna do very well. But I will admit that I think last night when we decided, 2 nights ago we decided like we were gonna film this today, and I went back on and I was just like, oh god, this level of deck. Is there anything I can change? No, there's nothing. I want to have all 7s. So yeah,
it's gonna be kind of rough. But I mean, we'll unlock more cards as we keep playing.
Yeah, and she can take adaptables, so
it's supposed to get easier.
Yeah,
we both can.
Once we get adaptables, we'll be fine. So that's gonna be good. Oh, and then the one other thing. So we did talk more about what we were going to carry over from Forgotten Age, and we're actually changing from what we said in the document. So next week, when we start this campaign, you'll see that we are all poisoned, and what that is going to do is we're also going to shuffle the Creeping Poison, I believe it's called.
Yeah, the Creeping Poison card. So random pings of damage galore.
It's going to be shuffled into our encounter deck, and basically that's because Yig was mad at us at the end of the last campaign, and we didn't want to bother with making snakes. So
yeah, it felt like it was going to tamper, I think, just a little too much by having like snakes show up or like replace other cards. Yeah. And then it's also like kind of defeats what we want to do for this campaign, where we want to kind of be like our tour guides for each other. And so if we have like random snakes showing up as opposed to what was supposed to be there, it just gets like messy. And then they also have mechanics like, vengeance, which then doesn't do anything, so you have to make up something for what it does for this campaign. So just kind of a lot. So I think we're just doing a much simpler approach, and we'll just be poisoned, which makes a lot of sense. And then the random surges of damage will accumulate over time and be very annoying unless we can deal with the poison, which I'm not sure we're decided if there's an option to get rid of it, but maybe we can.
I think we said maybe we get to like spend 2 or 3 XP to just remove it from a deck or something like that.
Yeah,
because I mean it's not going to be too bad for Mark because he gets a card out of it, but for Lola I'm a little bit afraid.
Well, and the funny thing is like only you will have access to that choice on the Awaked team. Like I'll just have to do whatever you say for Jenny, whereas like you're gonna have to do whatever I say for Min. So this will make it kind of fun in that. Like, you can play the deck, but like you don't have control over the deck.
I don't get to. I can give you feedback and say, hey, I'd really like to not be poisoned anymore, but you can be like, well, unfortunately, we're gonna make you have some freezing variants instead. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next week with this team of investigators. Until then,
stay out of danger.
There we go. Getting back into it.
I forgot.